Let's talk about navigating and selecting data. To navigate in Excel, the easiest way is to use the scroll bars. We have a horizontal scroll bar which will allow us to go right and left, and a vertical scroll bar which will allow us to scroll down and up. At either end of the scroll bars, you will also see small arrows that allow us to make smaller movements. For example, you can click here to move up one row at a time. Using the scroll bars, however, is not always the most efficient method. Sometimes it's quicker to use your keyboard. We have 4 arrow keys, which will allow us to easily move left, down, right, and up, one cell at a time. If you need to make bigger movements, 2 really useful keys are the page up and page down. What they do is to take us down one screen's worth at a time. You can see now I'm on row 562 at the bottom here. If I press my page down, you can see now the row 563 at the top. And if I press page up, I'm back to where I was before. One super useful shortcut is a Control Home button. Press it, see what happens. Control Home takes you back to the beginning of your spreadsheet, and in a very large spreadsheet, this can save you a lot of time. You may also want to navigate to different sheets within a spreadsheet. If you take a look at the bottom here, you'll see I have 3 worksheet tabs, and each of these is a different sheet. To move between these, simply click on the appropriate worksheet tab. I'm going to move to Sales 2016 to look at selecting data. If you want to select a single cell, simply click on that cell, and this is a single click, not a double click. This cell then becomes the active cell, and you can recognize it because it's got a solid border around the edge. If you like to select more than one cell, click on the first cell in your selection, hold your mouse down and drag to the last cell. You notice that they all become highlighted except for the first one that you select on. Don't worry, that is still part of the selection. Now be careful when selecting data, make sure you have the big Y cross. There are 3 icons you need to look out for. The big Y cross is your select icon, but if you come to the edge of the cell, you notice you get a skinny cross with the back arrows on the edge. This icon is actually your move icon. So, if I click and drag now, what it has done is move the data. Oops! I didn't mean to do that. Don't panic. Nearly every mistake in Excel can be undone just by clicking on the Undo button on your Quick Access toolbar. So, I'm gonna click Undo. The third icon you need to look out for is a little skinny cross with no arrows. You get this icon when you hover over the corner of the active cell. This time, when I click and drag, it looks like it's selecting, but actually, it copied the data. Again, that's not what I meant to do, so I'm gonna undo it. So, remember when selecting, you want the big Y cross. Now, if you want to select an entire column of data, you can simply click on the appropriate letters. So, to select column C, I click on the C. You can also select multiple columns. Let's say I want to go A to E. I click on the A and hold down and drag till I get to the E. And of course you can do the same with the rows. So to select row number 5, I'm just gonna click on the number 5. Between the row numbers and the column letters is a funny little corner. If you click on that, you select your whole spreadsheet. Nice and easy, right? Sometimes you want to select larger sets of data, clicking and dragging can be quite slow. Another option is to click on the first cell in your data set, then hold the Shift key down and click on the last cell. And that will select everything between your 2 clicks. But wait, there's more. An even quicker way of doing this is to click somewhere in a data set and then use a shortcut Ctrl A. Ctrl A for all. Real quick, right? One last thing for today's lesson, Sometimes you need to select two sections of data that are not next to each other. We call this non-contiguous data. Let's say I want to select my account managers and their Q4 results. I start by selecting my account managers, but if I try to select my Q4 results, oops, I've unselected my account managers. Now let's try again. This time I'm going to select my account managers, then I'm going to hold down the Control key and select my Q4. Excellent. Now you know how to navigate and select data in Excel. It's your chance to give it a go. That's all for today's lesson, guys. Thank you again for choosing my course. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.